Comics of 100 Years Ago, September 11th, 1924. It's Little Orphan Annie by Harold Gray. Annie cries into a handkerchief as she is in the car with Mrs. Warbucks being taken back to the home by their chauffeur. The bonnet is down. Annie is in her kind of tea-cozy hat and fur-lined jacket. Mrs. Warbucks looks almost like a clown with a big ruff around her neck, a checked jacket with buttons all down the front, conical patterns around the sleeves, which also have big fur linings. Annie cries, "Boo-hoo-hoo, I just can't help it. I do hate to go back to the home." "Bawl all you like. You're going back just the same. Orphans were never meant for society. You drive a saint to violence," says Mrs. Warbucks. And Miss Fair is in front of the home, looking much less clownish than Mrs. Warbucks does. "Hello, Miss Fair," cries Annie. "I might have expected this," says Mrs. Warbucks, sort of sotto voce with her speech bracketed. "Were you planning to call at the home?" says Miss Fair, walking up and shaking hands with Annie. Mrs. Warbucks, turning bright red, says, "Oh, no, indeed. We just chanced to be passing. Such a coincidence. We should see you and stop right in front of the home, isn't it?" The car now drives away, and Miss Fair says, "I feel sorry for that poor kid. I wish I could do something for her." "Gee whiskers, I guess Miss Fair saved my bacon that time," Annie says, in response to Mrs. Warbucks saying, "I am going to give you another chance, Annie. I hope you appreciate how fortunate it is for you that I am so tender-hearted."